We're going to learn how to make a Lightbox with JavaScript and CSS and even some Ajax. And the reason we're not going to be using one of those Lightbox plugins or something like Shadowbox or anything like that is because the problem with those programs is they usually give you a whole bunch of files. You have to put all these files onto your computer and you don't really know how it works. And the reason that's a problem is because if you ever want to tweak anything, you're not sure where to go. You have to look at all these things. Like, what if you wanted to put a YouTube video in your Lightbox? What if you wanted to put a picture? What if you wanted to add a title in a weird place? No matter what you'd have to do, you'd have to go back to the documentation, figure out what to do, and it just becomes a huge pain in the rear end. So it's much easier if you make your own Lightbox, because then you'll learn how it's built, and you'll learn a lot doing it. You'll know how it's built, and then anytime you want to change anything, it's super easy because you're the one who made it. So you know where everything goes. And as you're going to see, there's not going to be very many of these tutorials because this is actually an extremely easy thing to do. But people just like to go to lightbox.com, download the jar file, and put it on their thing. But then once they have any kind of problems, they're like, oh my God, it's not working on my site. So I have a little example of a Lightbox that I'm using currently on my site on GMU Student, and as you can see, I have all kinds of tutorials here for you guys. You can go to all these different pages and see Dreamweaver tutorials. If you come over here, you can see Java tutorials, and let's just find here's one on prepared statements. So as you can see on my website, I have an area where you have the title of the video, you can play the video, and you can see related videos over here. It actually looks a lot like YouTube, doesn't it? But the cool thing that I wanted to show you guys is I have a comments section here, and instead of just having a regular comment box that was on my site, just like a whole lot of other sites, I thought, hey, it would be cool if I could show this in a Lightbox. So that instead of having a bunch of information on the site, you could put it in one Lightbox that's easy to load and everything. So if you click respond to video, boom, a Lightbox shows up, and it asks for your name, your email, and your comment. And then you can X out of it, and if you click comment over here, the same Lightbox comes in. And if you try and submit it without validations, it has all this kind of cool stuff. But anyway, so this is just showing that you can really put whatever the hell you want. You could put a form in there, you could put a picture in there, you could put a YouTube video in there, because really all this is just some HTML and CSS. So once you make it, you're going to be like, oh wow, that was so easy, and I could really put whatever the hell I want into this thing. And you can click on the side of the Lightbox to get out, or you can click on an X that you make to get out, or you can make another button that says close Lightbox, and that would get out too. So again, once you make this thing, you're going to learn so much. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to learn how to make the CSS styles for a Lightbox. So how to make the dimmed background and how to make the foreground color. So the first part's going to be all CSS. Then the next part's going to be a little bit of JavaScript so that we learn, okay, now that we have the Lightbox shown, how are we going to click a button and show it, and then click a button and not see it anymore. So it's going to be a little showing and hiding that we're going to do. And then the last thing we're going to do is, if you want to get this far, you could stop after that because then you'll have a functioning Lightbox for your whole site. But if you want to go even further, then we're going to know how to use some Ajax so that you can actually load this form with Ajax. This form is nowhere on my site when you first load the page. You see this fill out this form to comment? If we click out of here and we come to the, let me get out of that. I want to look at the actual source code of this page. Okay, view page source. And if we look up anything that says anything about that, fill out this form to submit, so fill out this form, you will see down here it's saying that doesn't exist on this page. And that's because on my source code, I actually don't have anywhere that fill out this form to submit. And instead, when the person clicks that button, that Ajax button, I load it into this div. So everything you see, the black background, the white foreground, the form, everything is loaded into this div. And that's a good way to wipe out all that clunkiness, because what if the person comes to this page and they don't even want to see the form? Well, then it would be stupid for you to load it every single time if not everybody wants to comment. So now it's loaded on click. It'll show it for the user, so if they want to see it, they can see it, and if they don't have to. So here's actually all the source code for that form, and it's just a regular, this is just HTML, and you have a div, and you have all this information. So instead of loading all this information every single time somebody comes to your page, you just load it on click. So, I'm going to teach you guys how to make this Lightbox. I'm going to teach you guys how to put contents into your Lightbox, how to close it when you want to close it, and I'm also going to teach you how to load that Lightbox on click with Ajax. So stay tuned for the next tutorial. This was just a little demonstration to show you guys what you're going to learn in this tutorial and let you know, hey, do I want to do this tutorial, do I want to do this series, or do I just want to skip this one? So hopefully this tickles your fancy and you're interested to learn a little more. So thank you for watching this tutorial, and I hope to see you guys in the next one.